And welcome to Bendigo's Red Energy Arena as we see Giants Netball take on the Adelaide Thunderbirds in the first game of Bound for Bendigo. As we start this broadcast, on behalf of Netball Victoria and the Melbourne Vixens, we would like to acknowledge the Dja Dja Wurrung and Toongaroong peoples as the traditional owners of the lands we're on today and pay our respects to elders past, present and future. It will be an absolutely cracking first game of this Bound for Bendigo series. We saw a thrilling contest in the men's exhibition match just earlier today, and my name's Georgia Radjic. I'm joined today by Chelsea Ryan. Chelsea, what have you got to look forward to in this game?
Hi Georgia, great to be here. So much to look forward to in this game. Bring on the Suncorp Super Netball Series. So it's great to be here for Bound for Bendigo, put on by Netball Victoria and all our fantastic sponsors. There's a great vibe here at Red Energy Arena already. But I'm super excited to see what we're going to see out on court. Lots of new players, lots of re-signings, and the Giants only just played Lightning earlier in Feb, and so there was a really tough contest there. And what they're trying to do is put new combinations and, get those training partners to have some experience in this high-performance environment.
Absolutely, and it will be a really thrilling contest. We'll quickly take you through the starting sevens for both teams. So, who's playing for the Giants in this game?
So, in the Giants, in goal shooter, we have Matisse Leatherbarrow. In goal attack, Sophie Dwyer. Wing attack, Maddie Hay. Captain in centre, Jamie Lee Price. Wing defence, Amy Slager. Goal defence, Matilda McDonald. Goalkeeper, Lauren Moore. And the subs, we have Ange Fretic. Did I say that correctly? Freketic. I knew it was the one. Gemma Donahue, Erin O'Brien, and Charlie Fiddler for the Giants.
And for the Thunderbirds, we have goal shooter Lucy Austin, goal attack Tipper Dwan, Georgie Horges in wing attack, Taylor Williams in centre, captain Hannah Petty in wing defence, Matilda Garrett in goal defence, and Latanya Wilson in goalkeeper. On the bench, Eleanor Cardwell, Chelsea Blackman, Sophie Casey, Shamira Sterling, Maisie Nakville. So, a lot of eyes will be on this Thunderbirds lineup today, particularly their attack end. Eleanor Cardwell starting on the bench, but the English Roses star, probably the biggest signing in the off-season for the Suncorp Super Netball.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have some international experienced players as well come all the way from different continents. And we've got a couple of our Jamaica girls in the Adelaide Thunderbirds as well, in Latanya Wilson and Shamira Sterling. Latanya starting off in goalkeeper here. But yeah, should be an exciting match. Who are you looking for at the Giants?
I really think Matisse Leatherbarrow, she did so well in every opportunity she had last year. 103 goals, I think, with what she was able to score, and she had a really fantastic Australian Netball Championships in the back end of August as well. So really exciting player. With Joe Weston out, a real opportunity for the Giants to play what is a New South Wales netball shooting prodigy.
Absolutely. And so Matisse, she debuted in late 2019 and she's taken to the court 3 times since then with, a high accuracy on her. We're just calling out our players at the moment for the Adelaide Thunderbirds taking their positions, and now it's the Giants to come onto the court.
Yes, and I think also we have a lot of these players do know each other really well as well. So, also, of course, we spoke about how great it is to be here. First time we've been having these games in Bendigo since 2019, and we wouldn't be able to have these matches and events taking place this weekend without the support of the Victorian Government, McCafe, and the City of Greater Bendigo. I'm just seeing our umpires take the court as well. We've got Tim Marshall and Emma Burgess as the umpires, and Nicole Boleyn is the reserve umpire for this match.
And so we're all ready and raring to go. The match day ball is coming out just now in our Indigenous centre circle. The Giants are going to start it off. It's in the hands of Jamie Lee Price.
Price out to Dwyer, takes the first centre pass receive, goes back to Sliger. A really smothering defence early from the Thunderbirds. Price hits the top of the goal circle, finds Dwyer, goes over the top to Leatherbarrow. And first early goal for the Giants.
First one on the board. Good to see coming into the Thunderbirds' hands. A long shot into the pocket there. Taylor Williams passing it in to Lucy Austin. Gets the goal.
And really must be settling for both teams, both goal shooters on song very early in the game. Giants just already having a little bit of difficulty moving the ball down the court. Really trying to go open up the channels, go wide and across. We see Dwyer holding the ball strongly. Maddie Hayes ends up with possession, but Williams out of play. Dwyer goes across the circle's edge to Jamie Lee Price. Ball over the top to Leatherbarrow. And it's a contact there against Garrett. For our viewers at home, just to let you know, Matilda Garrett is in goal defence. She does have Hannah Petty's dress on. There's a couple of changes with the dresses in this tournament, so it is definitely Matilda Garrett in goal defence. And a strong ball from Horges over the top to Taylor Williams.
There was a little bit of a miscommunication just there. She did the twirl, it looked good, but wasn't there to execute. And fantastic, Taylor Williams into the circle. It's saved by the Giants, though.
Yeah, Taylor Williams really earned her spot as a contracted 10 this season. She was a training partner last season, but some really strong performances when she did come on and rewarded well with getting the starting centre position in this game. Uncharacteristic miss from Leatherbarrow right under the ring. She's known for her accuracy, especially at long range, so maybe it's a little bit too close for her. Dwyer to Price.
And so Sophie Dwyer trying to squeeze through, but it's not enough, and the pass gets overshot. And Latanya passing it in for the Thunderbirds. Making her way down the court is Matilda Garrett looking for the option, but we're into the scoring third for the Thunderbirds. Lucy Austin split, not close enough, and squeezing her way in is Tipper Dwan.
Horges just missed time with Dwan there. Hands up in the arms of Giants, and this really strong full court defensive pressure coming in early for the Thunderbirds as well. They are really hungry from the ball. We saw that early turnover for Taylor Williams, but they are really trying to put a high pressure game on early. And there you go, Taylor Williams again finds Dwan. Horges surveying options, and again that connection with Dwan. They have played in goals together, and now they're playing that wing attack, goal attack role as we saw last season as well. Williams to Dwan, just inside the 1 point range. And it's an early goal now. Both shooters on the board with goals scored for the Thunderbirds.
Into the Giants' hands, they look backwards. The Thunderbirds really putting the pressure on. It's happened a couple of times at these centre passes. Into the pocket though. And that's Maddie Hay passing it over into Leatherbarrow, but it wasn't meant to be. That was a great intercept there by Latanya Wilson and Matilda Garrett working together on that one. Big shot over to Austin. The jump was distracting enough. Lauren Moore passing it in now, all due to her pressure. There's the setup on the ring.
And again, that strong pressure and from the attack end really resulting in another turnover going the way of the Thunderbirds. They're really not letting that ball go easily through their goal third when it is turned over, and it's rewarding them well. And, you know, Latanya Wilson, she's in goalkeeper at the moment. We also see Shamira Sterling in this team. Both those players made the Suncorp Super Netball Team of the Year last season, but now they have an attack line that will hopefully benefit how much, I would say, some unlived potential for this season. Horges to Dwan, straight to Austin. Very easy passage of play for the Thunderbirds.
Well, they broke the Giants' centre pass just there, which puts them 2 out in front. 4 to the Thunderbirds with just over 10 minutes remaining in our first quarter. We have 4 times 15-minute halves for this game. 4 times 15-minute quarters for this game.
And a held ball call there against Amy Sliger. So again, that full court defensive pressure coming into play for the Thunderbirds. Horges back to Garrett on the transverse line, really using that middle space well. And Lauren Moore, some really good elevation against Austin. She does give a little bit of height away from her, but she's able to reach. Interesting to see. Usually we see McDonald in that goalkeeper role and Lauren Moore in goal defence. I think Lauren Moore just not aware that is actually a penalty, not a throw-in. But interesting to see how they've changed this lineup. Maybe is to try and combat the speed and height that Lucy Austin provides, and also what Dwan does in that goal attack role.
And so it's one-on-one defence at the moment for Latanya and Matilda. Really pinning on their players. And there is a turnover. It's in the hands of the Thunderbirds, moving quickly.
Horges doing a mountain of work to lose her opponent with those drives. She is one of the shorter players we have in this league. Can swing between that wing at pretty much any position in the front three. But she's doing really well. And so well, in fact, that the Giants have actually called a timeout very early in this game. We're only, within the first 7 and so minutes and a really early timeout. What do you make of that, Chelsea?
I feel like they just saw the momentum swing and it wasn't in their favour, and so they've just called a timeout. I'm not sure if there's looking at the moment of any changes in positions. But yeah, really calling that one out, Julie Fitzgerald, who's the head coach of Giants netball.
And of course, you know, we have these two coaches here today, Julie Fitzgerald for the Giants and Tanya Obst for Adelaide Thunderbirds, but Obst was an assistant coach under Julie Fitzgerald for many years. So this is a really interesting aspect of this game as we look to see some of these replays early for this first quarter, and, you know, Dawn really on song with her shooting. Some really smooth passages of play, smooth attack end work from the Thunderbirds. And they're also putting that high pressure defense on, which is seeing the turnovers end up in their side of the court again.
And they're just quick to move it down as well. They're using the channels through the same one that they got the penalty in. And they've had a higher accuracy for shooting as well in this first 7 minutes of the match. And so the Thunderbirds coming back onto the court. Giants with the final words. Not looking like any changes in positions, but there'll be changes in combinations and plays. Up over to Lucy Austin, grabs it. Lauren Moore attempted. Must stay still on the penalty.
Trying to move up a little bit early. It's interesting seeing here in the game and knowing that Austin only gives away 6 centimetres in height to Lauren Moore, but it does look a little bit different on court, and especially those aerial balls. Lucy Austin is fantastic in the air in her ability to hold the space, but also just that elevation she's able to get. See another goal for the Giants. Horges really doing a mountain load of work in that centre pass receive, and Lauren Moore really good in choosing to stay back and cause a little bit of disruption. It will be a goal line throw-in for the Thunderbirds. Over the top is Taylor Williams, straight to Dwan, and it will not count as a shot at all because the umpire has called footwork.
And coming down the court, over the top, looking for an option, being nice and steady, settling into this game. Maddie Hay chasing up that ball. It's her possession. Williams needs to stay put.
Of course, this is, like we spoke about earlier, Suncorp Super Netball rules, so we will have the timeouts. We'll also have the super shot. So both teams have players who excel at that. We know we have Matisse Leatherbarrow and Sophie Dwyer, who are super shot specialists for the Giants. So maybe it's just a matter of waiting for the time to go down until we get to that 5-minute mark and see what these shooters can really do. And beautiful streaming intercept there by Matilda Garrett.
Pushing it right across the court there to Taylor Williams, coming back to Garrett and resetting. There was a bit of pace on it and then picking it up. It's still in their possession, up and over, but it was 2 against 1 against Lucy Austin, and it just wasn't going to make it.
We've seen what Tilly McDonald does really well against those tall holding shooters. So interesting that she's in goal defence. You can see that she's dropping back now against Austin, and that 2-on-1 has been working really well for the Giants in just not able to get the intercepts and the deflections that results in a gain just yet, but certainly able to just stop the flow of attack that we were seeing the Thunderbirds run rampant with. As we see Georgie Horges, another centre pass receive. Something I think we will come to expect a lot today is her doing a lot of that work in the first and second phases. And just, again, the Giants' defence, a lot of hand to ball, a lot of disruption, but no gains, so to speak.
Let's see what they can produce here in this centre pass. Again, waiting for the option over to Leatherbarrow. Oh, apologies, Jamie Lee Price. Leatherbarrow waiting in the circle, has got the ball, wants to get closer. Sophie Dwyer, hands on, and don't think that pass was meant to go there, but Maddie Hay has got it into Sophie, wants to get closer to the ring. Penalty against Williams in centre. Matisse holding at the back. And here's the shot.
Williams to take the centre pass, and Dwan comes out, looks for Horges. She really is the creative mastermind in attack for this Thunderbird side. Doesn't matter if she's in that wing attack or goal attack role. Austin doing well to try and attempt to stay on court, but it will be a throw-in the way of the Giants. Just the ball a little bit too far over the top of her.
And Matilda looking for a pass over, nice and strong. Sophie O'Dwyer.
Leatherbarrow, again, really trademark work. She loves those long balls at the top. You can see the way that she's holding as well. Dwyer pushing the ball across, and Williams is out for a contact. Maddie Hay, I feel like she's been a bit quiet as she's working her way into this game. I think the midcourt of the Thunderbirds really working well to try and delay the passes into the ring and putting some pressure, especially at that top of the goal third. Petty, not many options, forced to go long to Garrett and a little bit too long into the side, and it will be a Giants throw-in. And that is the super shot siren. So very interesting to see what we're going to have in this final 5 minutes of the first quarter. Maybe this is the Giants' time to shine. They scored the most super shots last year in the league. What are they going to do in this weekend's Bound for Bendigo series?
This is Leatherbarrow's time to shine here. She had a fantastic debut with a few super shots back in 2019. And now it's time for her to develop and grow a bit more. And Sophie Dwyer has just been with the Australian Diamonds over in South Africa as well. So ready to keep on shining. Let's do it for the super shot for the Giants.
And Giants doing really well now to work them back into the game. We saw a really pretty stable 2-goal lead for most of this first quarter. It's just the 1 goal, the difference now. And, you know, Thunderbirds calling a timeout appropriately. And I can see Shamira Sterling in the corner of your screen, or top of your screen actually, wearing a goalkeeper bib. Maybe we will see her join now, maybe in the next quarter. So we'll just have a quick look at some replays and some work here from Leatherbarrow to get the goal. And again, that strong defensive pressure from the Giants, but the Thunderbirds really able to get those last-minute pickups working for them well. Those 1%ers, or the bin chickens, as Laura Langman famously called them. Whenever there is a deflection, it ends up still in the hands of a Thunderbirds player.
Yes, and there've been any ball that's been rolling out of court, they've been pushing it back in and keeping possession of it as well. So it's, yeah, those extra 1%ers.
Again, that beautiful hold that Leatherbarrow is able to do. She's really good with the use of her body. You know, she came onto that scene as a 17-year-old in the Australian Netball League a couple of years ago. She was known for her use of the body to be a prolific goal scorer. As we see, both teams return from the timeout to take the court, and it will be a Thunderbirds centre pass to begin with. I think neither centre really making their way towards the umpire has to deliver the ball. That's probably why. I was like, why are they going for it?
It's because they do enough steps as centre running around the court, I am sure.
Yeah.
And Jamie Lee Price pushing back on to the line, putting extra pressure on the attacking players. Bit of a bump, and Jamie Lee Price knew she was called for contact just then. Hand up, I admit, guilty. Passes over to Williams.
Strong goal attack drive right across the front of the circle, unable to get the shot in, and Matilda McDonald, she's there for the rebound. Price deep in the centre of the court. They're looking to go long and move with speed. Matisse Leatherbarrow in the super shot zone. What can she produce here? And it's a goal. It's the first super shot of the weekend, and who else but Matisse Leatherbarrow?
Awesome job. Good to see. Crowd is elevated here. Final 3 minutes of our first quarter. Just in front by 1 now, the Giants.
They have been trailing for so much of this game, and, you know, the super shots are on, and here they are. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a real massive score difference in these final couple of minutes because of what the Giants, you know, their philosophy when it comes to utilising the super shots to the best of their advantage.
All right, Adelaide Thunderbirds to return the favour. Not in super shot range. Just there, Lucy Austin still goes for the shot, pops it in.
Price with the centre pass. Back to Sliger. Finds Dwyer, still very heavily in the centre third. Deep in the pocket is Jamie Lee Price. Dwyer across the face of goal. And it'll be a 1 goal shot and a miss, but Latanya Wilson is out for an obstruction, so another opportunity now for Sophie Dwyer.
2 minutes to go. Giants out by 3 now, or 2. Adding that goal just there Lucy Austin holding, calling it back. It's a good contest against Moore and Austin in that circle there.
And Matilda McDonald, what a wonderful run of play there. That is her bread and butter. She comes through for those intercepts.
And Matilda McDonald, 2022 Uni New South Wales Female Athlete of the Year Award. She's won that twice. And so she's only going to go up and up from here.
She really has been making the most of any game time she's had. Of course, another wonderful shot there.
And haven't the Giants turned this final few minutes around for them?
Williams just trying to cause some disruption. Gets the contact against her. Price. Leatherbarrow by herself. Still in the one zone. Passes off to Dwyer in the two-goal zone.
Beautiful.
And what a change we've seen in this super shot period from the Giants.
And you know what? It's a flow-on effect for the rest of the team. There's momentum, there's positivity, there's confidence now in the shooters sinking the goals when it counts the most.
And Tipper Dwan says, anything that you can do, I can do as well. And she scores a super shot for the Thunderbirds.
Heading it right back. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Giants out by 4. Looking to extend that lead. Williams isn't going to give it up that easy. It's a great matchup there, Williams and Price.
Yeah, two players really confident in their abilities to use their body and to put a really strong defensive centre in as well. So we're seeing two players really, I think, quite evenly matched. Williams with the centre pass. Dwan. Porges, really quick release to find Williams in the pocket. Austin, directly to Sliger. Matilda McDonald wants to go long. You can see the way that Thunderbirds have setting up almost a zone, really putting a lot of pressure and congestion in that centre third. Just 14 seconds left on the clock and really no rush from either team to try and get a final goal. And then as a caution to Hannah Petty for delay and an advanced ball as well from Tim Marshall. So really early caution in. Leatherbarrow, can she get this? And unfortunately no goal after the umpire's whistle. But what a strong first quarter and a strong last final 5 minutes. Chelsea, what do you make of that?
Super exciting. You know what? It can just turn at any moment, can't it? Especially in the last 5 minutes of the quarter with that super netball shot. Now, we had Dwyer and Leatherbarrow making the most of it. The Thunderbirds did get one, maybe even possibly two, but it was their extra ones that just bumped up that score, overtook them, and now extended that lead out in front.
So, at the quarter-time break, it is the Giants 16 and Thunderbirds 11. We will be back very shortly with more netball to come.
Are you ready for a career in sport? To make your mark on the industry? To study at the world's #1 school for sports science? Then what are you waiting for?
Quick, over there.
Meet Colin Jenkins, netball coach, orange cutter, artistic director, planner, chauffeur, Sherpa, and sideline hero.
Pass the ball over.
As proud partners of Netball Australia, we want to thank Colin for going above and beyond each week to support the netball community. HCF and Netball Australia, united by uncommon care.
When you're in a I deserve a little treat kind of mood, you need iced coffee and you need it deluxe. Hazelnut, vanilla or caramel. Make your day a cream on top kind of day with the McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee.
Sixth Car and Truck Rental is ready. Ready to go above and beyond. We call it Above and Beyonding. Means goodbye to the rocky roads of rentals, hello to an incredible fleet. with incredible service. We rent small cars, big cars, electric cars, and cars as big as trucks. Because they are trucks! It's time to mispronounce our name and get out on the open road in style, in 6.
Not too far from where you are, Victoria's wide open spaces are calling. You'll hear the call on forest trails and in sea breezes, at farm gates and in cellar doors, inviting you to hike that peak and chase that view, to drink from the maker and dine at the source. Victoria awaits. Are you ready? Stay close, go further.
And that was our first quarter for our Giants versus the Adelaide Thunderbirds. And this is all possible thanks to the support from the Victorian Government, McCafe, and the greater city of Bendigo.
And Suncorp Super Netball's coming back very, very soon. If you're enjoying watching these games this weekend, why don't you join the hunt and get a 3-game flexi membership for the Melbourne Vixens just from $67. Make sure you go on to the Melbourne Vixens website to sign up. We had some absolute cracker games last season. Going to be even better this season, I think.
Absolutely. Already, this one's held over in Perth in WA, but we've got the rematch of the grand final versus West Coast Fever as our first away game on Saturday the 18th of March. But our first home game, which you could use your Flexi membership for, is Melbourne Derby. The following Sunday, 26th of March at John Cain Arena, we're versing the Magpies.
I know, I will 100% be there with my Vixen scarf on. We can see the teams, the Giants, just getting some final words from Julia Fitzgerald as they make their way back on court for the second quarter. Really saw the Thunderbirds put their mark on early, but then that superstart period, the Giants, they know what to do with it. And no changes from the Giants lineup, but one massive change, actually a couple of changes for the Thunderbirds, but the big one is Alana Caldwell. She will be in goal shooter. Lucy Austin has gone to the bench, and Maisie Nankville has made her way into centre as well, sending Taylor Williams to the bench. But we spoke about this a little bit in the pre-game. Alana Caldwell, what a player she is. Oh, sorry, and Alana Caldwell, what a player she is. And England Rose recently had her 50th cap against Australia, so very excited to see what she does in this quarter. Jamie Lee Price with the first pass of the second quarter. And very easy ball through the court for the Giants, and Matisse Leatherbarrow gets the first goal right under the post. Nankville to Horges. Dwan in that mid-range shot section. Some good confidence going forward.
The 1-2-1-2 coming out on the line is Dwyer. Maddie Hay really being covered there by Hannah Petty.
Jamie Lee Price doing such a mountain load of work. You can see how well she's been setting up on the top of the center circle, top of the goal circle, doing a lot of work there. Maddie Hay really working her way into this game, but I think covered quite well, like you just said, Chelsea.
Hannah Petty getting some instructions from our umpire. In it goes, and over to Eleanor Caldwell. First goal.
And a big high five there between the two goalers. So very exciting. Definitely, I would say, worth the price of admission for the first game today to see Eleanor Caldwell play. A long ball over the top to Leatherbarrow. That is a standard feature of a game. Something we'll see a lot as Latanya Wilson able to get the rebound. Petty to Wilson. To Horges in that centre of the third.
And Giants really putting the heat on here with a bit of pressure. Wanting to force an error, but no, it's Caldwell. Gets the shot. Back to the Thunderbirds. A nice dodge and drive out there.
Thunderbirds, again, starting this quarter, the stronger of the two teams. They've reduced the deficit down to 4. And there'll be an opportunity now for another long-range shot, but Caldwell
Cardwell's very strong with her body. She knows how to hold and then move into the space that she's created.
It's interesting with the attacking, each Suncorp Super Netball team only has the 10 contracted players and, of course, the training partners as well. And quick release from Hay into Leather Barrow, right under the post. Easy as you'd like it, but if you look at who is on the contracted 10 for the Thunderbirds this season, you've got Tipper Dwan, you've got Georgie Horges, Lucy Austin, and also Eleanor Cardwell. That is such an attacking lineup. Of course, Horges mainly in that wing attack role these days, but so many players that can play a very strong attacking game.
And getting a bit closer to the ring underneath the post there. Caldwell again with the shot. And I think she's going to bring a lot of consistency to the Adelaide Thunderbirds circle.
I also think that, Cardwell and Lucy Austin are both, players who use their body really well and when holding the space. So I think having those two options in goal shooter will complement the rest of with the attacking lineup, so they know where to place the ball for their goal shooter. Doesn't matter who is on the court for them.
And that's what you want. You want experienced goalers who have accuracy and who are also going to communicate where they want it, right?
And we talk about the experienced goalers. This lineup for Giants, you can see the way that moved the ball around really well. Dwyer and Leatherbarrow are both quite young players. Dwyer only 22 and Leatherbarrow 21. So Giants turnover. Slager to Price. Using that middle channel of the court, really taking small, short passes to make their way down. And a well thought out passage of play from the Giants, really taking the options, assessing the situation, using those short balls rather than trying to move with speed and length, and working really well for them. The lead now back out to 5 again. Dwyer, great connection there with Leatherbarrow, and strong drive there. Leatherbarrow just hits the post, but able to get the offensive rebound and the next goal.
Over into the pocket. Using her body, turning it around. Cardwell with another. And they're still chasing. 22-17 at the moment.
Hey, back out to Slager. Hey, again to Price.
Just a little too much excitement on that ball over, and Hayes been doing a ton of work. Petty has been up one-on-one in that defence and also putting pressure on her when she comes out for the circle.
And again, quickly, Hannah Petty is wearing Taylor Williams' dress, so wing defence is Hannah Petty, and goal defence Matilda Garrett is wearing Petty's dress. So we are just a quick heads up for those at home. Strong defensive rebound by Lauren Moore.
Amy Slager with the short pass, calling it back. They want to go forward to the ball just there, but it wasn't the option that she wanted, and she made it hard for herself, didn't she? In giving that one away, Lauren Moore.
Lots of arms over pressure from the Thunderbirds, and long feed in to Leatherbarrow, right under the post. The attacking connection to the Giants just getting stronger and stronger as this game goes on.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how Lauren Moore, she's had a couple of shoulder injuries previously, and really her shoulders are like the thing that's keeping her up against Cardwell just now. She's reacting well, though, and not letting us notice that anything's awry. It's in that Giants' hands at the moment. Bit of a kerfuffle. Got it under wraps. Hay looking for the pass in. And that was Dwyer's goal. Confident, calm, consistent shooter she is. Not a big fist pumper celebrator. She gets the job done, moves on, and next goal.
I think that's one of the best aspects of her game. Like you said, the calmness and consistency, but it also means that in those big moments when she does get those super shots, for instance, she's prepared, I think, emotionally. It makes her a really intelligent player, especially for someone as young as she is, and considering how many games she's now played at this elite level as well. Price. Dwyer, strong bullet pass, but Leatherbarrow unable to get the hands to it. Wilson to Garrett. Defensive pressure from Dwyer still ends up in the hands of Garrett, and now the Thunderbirds are moving with speed through this channel of the court. Dwan really wants to move the ball with pace. Goes back to Nankville, attempts the shot, and Cardwell able to keep a hold of it, and she scores. That is what you get when you have a player of Eleanor Cardwell's intelligence, smarts, and ability. Garrett finds Horges. Dwan trying to move off court to find some space in the ring.
And so the Giants still leading at the moment, 4 out in front.
And Tipper Dwan really was trying to push her way through through the space in the goal circle, but picks up an offensive contact as well.
Maddie Hay moves back, gets the pass. They want to be going into the circle. Dwyer coming around.
Hey, forced to go back, no options coming forward to Price. Dwyer on the far channel goes long. Wilson looks up for it. Dwyer doing so much work outside of the circle, goes deep into the pocket again. Hey, over the top to Leatherbarrow. And it's Petty out of play on circle's edge.
Really putting the pressure on the Thunderbirds.
Leatherbarrow finds Dwyer. I think what's interesting in this game is, Leatherbarrow, really great player, but I think they're expecting like the Joe Harton ability to pull in those really high aerial balls, and that's why they're placing them there. We're just not seeing that, ability to get the take and bring that ball down from some height. So those balls are bouncing along the goal line almost, and we will have a Thunderbirds timeout. So, Chelsea, almost at that super shot period in the second quarter, 5 goals is the difference. What do you think is going to be said in these timeout breaks? You can see Shamira Sterling. I'm not sure if it's visible on your screen, but she's high-fiving her defenders. She's really impressed with what they're doing. But is it that attack line that's just not gelling as easily as we saw in the first part of this quarter?
I feel like they're going to have to do a lot of work around the circle to get it in the position for one of our shooters, Dwayne or Cardwell, to get it in from that super shot range. It was only 5 the difference at quarter time. It's still, it's just a little bit out at the moment. No, that's our replay, that's our times. It is still 5 the difference currently at this timeout. I also think that the Giants have had more opportunity at goal. They just haven't had as many accurate shots go in. So if they get the confidence back in the last few minutes like what they did in their first quarter, I think the Thunderbirds are in trouble in the last few minutes of this one. What about you?
I definitely think that after this next 15-second period, when we go into the super shot period, the Giants, they love to turn it on in a super shot period. That is what they're known for, and they have 2 players that can really score accurately from range. So a lot at play here. Just whether or not the Thunderbirds are going to go that route as well and try and go for those super shots. They definitely have Tipper Dwan, a player capable of that. What can Eleanor Cardwell do? This is really one of her first experiences with the super shot, having moved across to this league. And
Matisse Leatherbarrow running down. She's gone to the wrong goal circle, but it's all right. She's made it there, ready to go. All right, super shot time almost. A few seconds yet to go on our clock, so it's still 1 goal for 1. And just ticking it over. That's what they want. They almost don't want it to blow out or be a really big thing, them getting goals. It's just get another, get another, get another.
Cardwell, beautiful passage of play, strong drive there from Tipper Dwan, and she came out of the circle, she opened the space, and that was beautiful shooter-to-shooter play. And we have hit that 5-minute period, so it is super shot time now. What will the Giants produce in the final 5 minutes of this first half? Going for the one, Leatherbarrow just under the post.
All right, first opportunity for the Thunderbirds to get a super shot in this second quarter. They're going to want it.
And I think Sligo's really come alive in the more of the second quarter. We haven't seen the influence that Georgie Horges had as early in the game, and Cardwell lines up for her first super shot and nails it. So Thunderbirds saw what the Giants did in that first quarter, how they really ran away with the super shot, and now it's their opportunity to try and score some as well.
They want to answer to it. They've got to bring the energy. Here goes Dwyer.
Just dribbles off the top of the post, and Thunderbirds throw in. Umpire just holding time there for a moment as it goes almost into the stands. And brilliant work there from Latanya Wilson. We saw it earlier in the men's game when goal attack Josh Smith threw it against the post, and very rarely have we seen a defender do it off the post. You simply love to see it. The best rule in netball as far as I'm concerned. Dawn over the top to Nankville, but just a little too much on it. Just a little bit messy at times in this game. Players, there has been quite a bit of a break between seasons. So still getting used to those combinations, and I guess also all that pre-season work in the gym.
And I've heard they've been doing a lot of running in pre-season as well, building up that fitness. Although a lot of them stay fit over the off-season anyway. And coming out, and that was Dwayne needed.
Cardwell using her body to really make sure that Lauren Moore sets up high, giving her so much time and space to move around. And Cardwell in the zone for the two, goes again. But Matilda McDonald's out of play. Another shot at goal, and she makes no mistake. The Thunderbirds are still very much in it. There's so much time left in this quarter, let alone left in this game. Hey, back to Dwyer. Dwyer immediately, you can see every time she gets that ball, she looks into the circle for her shooting compatriot. She's in the 2-goal zone.
And she's really gone far out of the circle just here. Stuck on an option, is going to bring in a contest, but it's still in the Giants' hands. Price to throw in. And Sophie really doing a lot of work here, just outside the circle in this last minute. Now she's going back in.
It's definitely been utilised at like that creative goal attack, wing attack, really opening up the space for her fellow shooter. And Leatherborough from distance. That is her bread and butter. Those are the shots that she became known for in the Australian Netball League as a teenager. Dwan over the top to Cardwell. Cardwell wants the two. She goes into the super zone. She moves the ball around really well with Horges. Attempted shot, just misses.
And more passing in. There's a lot of pressure being put on the Giants by the Thunderbirds. Amy Sligo passing it to Price, going back to Hay, going across the court and back again. They just want a nice, smooth, clean channel. Hay with the pass. She's got some good agility and speed. All right, let's see what our goalers are going to do. They're going for the 1 goal. That 1 point. Leatherbarrow gets it.
And it's another Giants centre. So what we've been seeing when the ball is coming down the court towards the Giants' end is a lot of congestion through the middle channel from the Thunderbirds. So really forcing them to kind of go those wide passes. And Giants have stepped up in the pass. They've really stepped up and doing those hard passes across court. But they're able to split the defence and move with speed. Leatherbarrow, again, from distance, from range, and she gets the super shot. Nankville, not many options coming forward. Forced to go back to Petty. Finds Dwan. Horges wants to go in. Finds Cardwell just outside the circle, a bit further out than she'd anticipate. Dawn tries to reset with Nankville behind her, but it's offensive pressure of Amy Sligo, who's really doing a great job in wing defence. She might not be getting the big stats, but she's doing a mountain load of work to stop Georgie Horges running amok like she usually does. She's a fantastic creative wing attack. Long ball in, just a couple seconds left in this quarter. Flashes across the court, Manny Hay unable to get a hold of it, and that is half time in this first game. It is the Giants 35, the Thunderbirds 26. Chelsea, what do you make of that?
So they've pushed up. The difference is now 9. It was 5, and this only just happened in the last few minutes, which is when our super shot was activated as well. So I really feel like the Giants, they're putting a lot of pressure on defensively. Thunderbirds missed a few goals just there. Eleanor Caldwell wanted the super shot, didn't quite get it. If they had a sunk, they would have just climbed back up a bit. But it's the Thunderbirds, that really need to sort of switch it on and push forward in this third quarter. What did you make of it?
Yeah, so a 19-goal quarter for the Giants and 15 for the Thunderbirds. We saw 16 and 11 respectively in that first quarter. So both teams really coming and bringing that shooting game into this second quarter. I really think, what you touched on there was absolutely correct. And I think the injection of Eleanor Cardwell as well really brought a different element to the Thunderbirds in this quarter. Will be really interesting to see what's to come as we look at some replays from that second quarter. Some really strong play there and strong balls over the top. Eleanor Cardwell, she really uses her body so well. I think towards the end of that first quarter, Lucy Austin and Lauren Moore. Lauren Moore was doing the double teaming on Lucy Austin with Lauren Moore, and Matilda McDonald was starting to beat her aerially, but Cardwell, just a fantastic use of the body, able to get that space. But what the Giants are doing so well is their accuracy from distance, and they are scoring very, very well.
Definitely. And also Georgie Harjus is being, stopped by Amy Sliger, who's just stepped up a little bit in this second quarter, I feel. She's really played that one-on-one game with her to keep her on her toes. And so Sliger has had 7 games in 2022 in the Suncorp Super Netball. And so I reckon she'd be hungry for some more experience in our 2023 season.
Absolutely. And with Amy Parmenter not featuring this weekend, this is the time to make her mark. She's a part of the contracted 10. She's trying to step up and say why she deserves game time in this Suncorp Super Netball season. Thank you so much for joining us in this first half. We will be back for the second half very shortly. It is Giants Netball 35, Adelaide Thunderbirds 26.
Are you ready for a career in sport? To make your mark on the industry? To study at the world's #1 school for sports science? Then what are you waiting for?
Meet Colin Jenkins, netball coach, orange cutter, artistic director, planner, chauffeur, Sherpa, and sideline hero.
Pass the ball over.
As proud partners of Netball Australia, we want to thank Colin for going above and beyond each week to support the netball community. HCF and Netball Australia, united by uncommon care.
When you're in a I deserve a little treat kind of mood, you need iced coffee, and you need it deluxe. Hazelnut, vanilla, or caramel. Make your day a cream on top kind of day with the McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee.
Sixth car and truck rental is ready. Ready to go above and beyond. We call it Above and Beyonding. Means goodbye to the rocky roads of rentals, hello to an incredible fleet with incredible service. We rent small cars, big cars, electric cars, and cars as big as trucks. Because they are trucks! It's time to mispronounce our name and get out on the open road in style, in six.
Not too far from where you are, Victoria's wide open spaces are calling. You'll hear the call on forest trails and in sea breezes, at farm gates and in cellar doors, inviting you to hike that peak and chase that view, to drink from the maker and dine at the source. Victoria awaits. Are you ready? Stay close, go further.
And here we are, Georgia, bound for Bendigo. It's so good to be out and about with our Vixens, taking them on the road. We had some really special clinics today with the local community, and it gets even better as the Suncorp Super Netball League is kicking off in March. Our fan day, our Vixens fan day, is on Sunday, March the 5th.
Yep, 11 till 2 p.m. at Federation Square. Make sure you come along and support your Vixens. If you are following along at home, we hope you are enjoying the broadcast here in Facebook Live and on YouTube. Thanks to Melbourne Vixens for broadcasting these games. I was here as a fan a couple of years ago. Last time they had a pre-season tournament out in Bendigo, and it is a fantastic arena, is it not?
Absolutely. The Red Energy Arena here in Bendigo. There are a lot of fans here. We'll have to get a bit of a supporter count a little later on in our game. It's so good to have people come down and watch the netball and support and be excited about our Suncorp Super Netball starting. Our free event, our Fan Day, is coming up very shortly. We're halftime here in our first game for the weekend, our Giants versus Adelaide Thunderbirds. The current score sits 35-26, the Giants leading just by 9 points. And it looks like there's going to be some halftime fun here, which is always what's a bit of fun about going to the Suncorp Super Netball, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's just not just going to the game, it's the whole match day experience, and it is a great one at that. So lots of things to happen, and I hope you are all enjoying the games at home as well, and make sure that you do also get your memberships for this season. Even if you come down to the Fan Day, maybe sign up there as well. Absolutely.
We have our first game. It is an away game for the Vixens though, but one to definitely watch because it is our grand final repeat. It's time for the Vixens to be able to take some revenge on West Coast Fever Saturday the 18th of March. And then checking out our screen at the moment, our corporate hospitality packages, the ultimate matchday fan experience is up for grabs, so do check it out. I've personally been and had one of those experiences, Georgia.
Fancy.
And oh my gosh, courtside, plush as seats. You are with the best of the best people around you, and the food is to die for.
How do I get in on this next season? Do I have to just go to the Melbourne Vixens website to find out more?
Absolutely. Just go to the Melbourne Vixens website, melbournevixens.com.au. And our first home game, this could be you right there courtside. It is going to be Sunday, 26th of March. It's the Melbourne Derby.
I cannot wait. We saw some absolutely thrilling games between Collingwood and the Vixens last season. One of only 2 losses the Vixens had were against Collingwood Magpies, so you never know what to expect. And Collingwood really do love to bring the energy against the Vixens. The Melbourne Derby is a very fiercely contested battle.
It definitely is. And so just before this match, we had our men's netball exhibition match where we had our reserves play our under-23s. And we had Dan Cook, Australian representative, and everything to do with netball. Fantastic guy. Come and have a chat with us and commentate this morning as well. And it was really exciting because he gave a little bit of intel, is that the men's have also been having practice matches against the Vixens and Collingwood in Melbourne.
Certainly. And the M-League even have their finals at the moment as well. I know they were being broadcast. So if you do want to learn more about men's netball in Victoria, make sure you check out the Victorian Men's and Mixed Netball Association. Very easy to find on Facebook because the M-League finals are heating up. So really great to see men's netball be embraced, alongside our elite netballers as well. So it's a great time to be involved in netball, wouldn't you say, Chelsea?
Definitely think so. And so we've got a pretty big crowd here down at Red Energy Arena here in Bendigo. A few of our people up on the screen. I'm sure everyone that's looking at their phones right now is posting on social media to say what a cracking time they're having. It's nice and cool inside versus outside. It's about, I think, over 30 degrees today.
Yeah, it is very warm here in Bendigo, but I'm going to say the stadium is beautiful. Hopefully you are enjoying it from the broadcast, but the aircon is on in here as well, which is great to have in a netball stadium. Anyone who's played hot netball before can definitely attest to that.
Definitely. Or netball in the pouring rain. I remember some Saturday mornings you'd go home looking like a drowned rat.
Well, that's also me after a hot netball game as well. So really the spectrum of weather really gets to you all. But no, we can see the Thunderbirds back on, trying to stay warm. We are playing Suncorp Super Netball rules, so that means there is a 15-minute interval at halftime. Of course, we have the Super Shot, which we've seen both teams utilise, and timeouts. Both teams have taken a couple of timeouts so far, so these teams, this is no easy weekend. These are the real rules here.
Absolutely.
Down to Bendigo.
And so, this pre-season, the Giants have already played the Sunshine Coast Lightning earlier in February, and they went down by 1, which they weren't too happy about. Their second one was behind closed doors, so they're looking at giving this one a real good crack. This is a fantastic time to be able to try out new combinations and new plays, and also new players, some of the training partners. So we'll see, a little later on, maybe from the Giants, we'll be getting Ange You know how to say her last name, Georgia?
Kriketich. Yeah, and so if you were watching along in the Australian Netball Championships that were held in Traralgon in August, a lot of these players that you will be familiar with, especially the Giants contracted 10 as well. Quite a few of them did play. So, and also the Southern Force took away the gold medal in the end as well. So Lucy Austin had a stellar game for the Southern Force. Quite a few of these Thunderbirds players as well. But really exciting player, Ange Kriketich. She shot 100% throughout the entire week-long tournament, did not miss a single goal, played a lot of games with Matisse Leatherborough, so that is an established combination. Can see the players making their way back on court. I think that is Amy Sligo with a wing attack bib on, so maybe some changes happening there as well.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's a few training partners we'll see over the weekend hopefully make their way onto court. But it's been a time where there's been a lot of changes in the last couple of years, because there was a framework that was put in 2022, which was our COVID-19 contingency framework, which meant that more training partners were allowed to travel with the team. And there were some players that went in under those COVID framework rules.
Yeah, and definitely some other ones we'll see later in this weekend as well. Of course, Gabby Coffey, training partner for the Melbourne Vixens, actually made her debut for the Collingwood Magpies. So, those real opportunities to get some of these young players up. And a quick look at your screen right now. We did speak about those, Melbourne Vixen games. So the very first 3 home games, Sunday, the 2nd of April, we will be playing the Giants, and anyone who happened to be at the semi-final last year with that 1-goal thriller, the M. Mannix intercept, what an intercept that was. I think I still replay it in my dreams sometimes. So, that game's going to be a cracker. We will see Giants versus Vixens tomorrow, but the Giants will be out for blood 100%.
Yeah, when it really counts, when points are on the line, Sunday, 2nd of April.
Absolutely. And the game that we have next as well, Vixens versus Lightning, that will be on the 8th. So much netball to come. Aren't we I'm so happy it's back. I've been so bored. I've been staring at my wall all the time, just waiting for the netball to come back.
Yep. Who cares about cricket? Tennis. We want the netball.
We've been waiting for the netball, just constantly demanding, where is the netball? So,
well, I know, sacrifices you have to make. My trials were on this morning, but it was only the second session. It's all right. They know what I can do. But, really exciting to be here in Bendigo. But also, for all our local clubs and communities of netball, like the season is getting underway. Trials are happening. Pre-season is on. We're getting ready and raring for those seasons to start.
And as we've got 2 minutes until the first centre pass of the second half, but I'm just going to throw out some wild theories about what I want to see on court while we both talk about the games. We spoke about, I can see both teams now, both teams are just starting to have their final words. But speaking of Ange Kriketich, I'm obviously a big fan of her, but would love to see her play goal attack and then put Sophie Dwyer into goal shooter. Maybe
that'd be
controversial
an interesting combo.
And I would love to see Georgie Hodges in that goal attack position. I think she's great in wing attack, but, Kath Cox, probably the biggest fan of Georgie Hodges there is, and I love seeing what she does in goal attack. And it's a great, testament of, height doesn't always mean that you're not able to play at the elite level, because Georgie Hodges, what an absolute star of a player she is. Can see the Giants making their way on court now, and there does seem to be some changes. Sligo is in that wing attack position, and we can see that Donahue has made her way into wing defence as well. So 2 changes for the Giants at the start of the second quarter. So Gemma Donahue in wing defence and Amy Sligo in wing attack. She did really well against Hodges in that second quarter. What can she bring to the Giants attack line? We did see a lot of her play. We play a lot of centre in the ANC, so she really is the complete mid-court player.
Absolutely. So Gemma Donahue coming out onto court, 21 years of age. She's from the Northern Suburbs Netball Association, played for the Manly Waratah Sapphires, and in her Australian rep, she made the under-21 squad in 2021.
And quite a few changes for the Thunderbirds on court. Shamira Sterling in that goalkeeper role, Latanya Wilson in goal defence. Those are the positions those 2 players made the Suncorp Super Netball team of the season last year. They are a formidable defence. I would have nightmares about them. Lucy Austin also in goal shooter, and Eleanor Cardwell in the goal attack position. So a lot of changes as we see Jamie Lee Price take the first centre pass of this second half. Price Forced to go back to McDonald. Donahue, first touch of the netball. A lot of ball going back and forth between the two defenders. Sliger goes long over the top, and Latanya Wilson. The Jamaican defensive duo already paying off for the Thunderbirds. Petty. Porges. Cardwell out of the circle. Does a bit of a spin. Still manages to find Austin. A little bit of scrappy play there. And just the two shooters kind of just trying to find their feet in this new shooting combination. They haven't had much official match practice just yet. Of course, they have been training together, but new and exciting combination for the Thunderbirds.
And now it's their centre again. Williams over into the pocket, but tipped over by Price.
Oh, and Taylor Williams has made her way back on court into that centre position as well. More out of play. Caldwell offloads to Austin.
And I think there's really two solid body players in the Thunderbirds shooting circle at the moment with Cardwell and Austin. Tall, broad shoulders. There's going to be a lot of holds.
Absolutely, but you can see the height that Austin has, and strong work there from Leatherbarrow to keep her feet on the ground, to keep so close. And Sterling, you know she's going to come alive in this game, and it's going to be an absolute joy to watch. She plays exciting netball.
Yeah, she's coming with a lot of energy just now. She wants to make her mark in this game, and she wants to assist in catching up the Thunderbirds on the score, which currently sits 36-28.
And again, the Thunderbirds really doing well at the start of each quarter to just get those early goals on. They had a turnover go their way very early, and a bullet pass there from Dwyer to Sliger. Little 1-2 back and forth with Leatherbarrow. Strong pressure over the shot by Sterling, but that was a very clean passage of play from the Giants directly to goal and worked really well. Wilson in goal defense. Petty to Williams. Cardwell out of the circle. Porges wants to go in, finds Austin. McDonald really long stretch over the shot, but Thunderbirds add another goal to the board.
And there's a timeout here.
The ball just kind of rolled off a little bit off the court, and Price just watched it. Price really has made that top of the circle her home in this game. She does so much work from there, but it's really great for the Giants to have, I think, a kind of a jail free card, and having her there really doing so well with the space. And unfortunately, we've just had to hold time for a second as some of the spectators were walking in the path of Tim Marshall.
Two little girls not knowing that they're in the presence of greatness here.
Yeah, they're the main characters in the moment. But
well, that's what netball is all for. We've got a lot of families and kids here as well, which is really good to see. And we had a lot of kids getting a lot of signatures from their Vixens heroes earlier this morning at our clinics.
And Caldwell doing really well to just place that ball high. Austin, of course, we've spoken about. There's a 7-centimetre difference between her opponent in Lauren Moore. So really trying to place that ball high and away from her. Gives her no opportunity to get to it. Sliger on circle's edge. Great patience before she offloaded to Leatherbarrow. And that really high shot. I feel like when Leatherbarrow is more confident, you see that higher arc in her shooting technique. Petty.
Sliger was close with that, but not close enough. And same with Moore just there. Austin has the shot, it rolls over. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Thunderbirds. Cardwell looking for the option. And the pass in, not as easy as expected, but nails that one. And that's what counts, the final product. Now look at the work being done off the line before this centre pass. Sliger comes out. Dwyer with the ball. Huge leap over, and it was just a bit too much power, but Look, I'm going to say it made it in. Leatherbarrow has got the penalty. It's time for a shot.
And again, Sligo really running onto that, putting her body fully on the line to try and run into that ball. Did really good work to keep it in place and just...
And it was just a bit of a bouncy one there, just outside the circle. Price is out. Good hands by Leatherbarrow.
Wilson to Petty.
Sligo and the crowd actually went, ooh, on that almost intercept. There should be a stat for almost intercepts, right?
I'm not sure how Champion Data can get that for us, but I want it. And again, now look at this change. We spoke about how Sligo did really well to kind of quieten Georgie Horges in the second quarter, but this battle between Donahue and Horges, Donahue does play a lot of the circle defence as well, so really interesting to see how they will work together, because of course Horges is she's a shorter player. She's able to make space so easily as well, so it'll be interesting to see how this battle happens in the third quarter.
She was just working well with Price coming into that centre just there. But is Horges with the ball? She wants it back, and she should have had that back. Has she saved it? Oh, beautiful.
And that's what you should expect from Georgie Horges. How she managed to keep that ball legally in play is something else entirely.
I feel like every centre is being worked really hard for both teams. Our defenders are really keeping that one-on-one pressure and pushing them back off the line, having to make them do a wide sweep out, so our centres are looking back.
And again, we spoke about this when they played against each other in the first quarter, but the combination of Williams versus Price, I think, is such an interesting one. I think they have a similar centre, really strong defensive centre game, and you spoke about how much running they have been doing there, and Cardwell really strong on her footwork to make sure she didn't commit an error, but strong pressure from Lauren Moore coming off the body to try and work around Lucy Austin. Cardwell offloads to Austin. The Giants defenders trying to move around to try and get that intercept, to get the outside arm in. There's no easy ball in this game, especially not in the shooting ring.
Especially not. So Dwyer's come out, and that's because they will have Sligo tagged with their opposing centre as well. And Wilson, in she goes, up and around, assists her fellow teammates, the attackers, getting it in the ring. Cardwell wants to go back a little bit closer for safety with the shot. Nails it.
And again, Wilson, we saw her in goalkeeper at the start of this game. She played that half, but that room to run, that space to move, that's where she's most dangerous. She comes through so well for intercepts and deflections. And Cardwell, she's found her spot. That 45-degree angle in the post, she's making it her home now. That's a couple of shots there in a row. Price forced to go back. And
I almost was getting nervous there with Donald with the long bomb. Comes across the court, but it's still in their hands. Sligo looking for the best option in the ring, and Dwyer leans back, splits the legs, gets the goal.
A just quick score check. It is now 4 goals of difference. It was 3 goals up to that point. Just Taylor Williams with an untouched ball just there. But it's 4 goals of difference. There was a 9-goal difference at the halftime break. The Thunderbirds have started so strongly. What are you making of it? Is it this strong shooting combination? It's what Eleanor Cardwell is bringing to this team, or it's the defensive pressure from having, the best defender in the league for a couple of years in Shamira Sterling and Latanya Wilson in? There's so many things at play, but Thunderbirds have come alive in this third quarter. But as we've seen in every previous quarter, maybe it's up until that 5-minute mark and the super shots start coming in for the Giants.
I really think it's every one of these players on the court for the Thunderbirds has switched up their defensive play around those centre passes, or around when there's a turnover in the middle of the court there. It's when the Giants are slowing it down and they're actually becoming a little bit stuck. People are coming in a little bit too early with their leads and not on those 45-degree angles with the shoulders out in front. And so it just makes more work. They're panicking. There's more, sort of unforced errors and turnovers in that. And then the Adelaide Thunderbirds are just slowly creeping up and capitalising on that. There's nothing that's been major as in a bang. There's been a turnover, a flying catch just there for the Giants. But it's really this the final 5-minute territory of the quarters is what's making the biggest impact with this game.
And it was the offensive contact call against Georgie Horges, and now Sterling able to get the rebound.
And Shamira looking for an option. And that was luck, I think. That was Gemma Donahue going for that intercept just there, and there we go. That's the siren.
And it will be a giant centre pass as well. So are they immediately going to go for the super shot early in as soon as the buzzer is gone?
I'm going to say yes, they are. Get it done early.
Can see there's no one in the ring for them. And Sterling, I think there's Sterling versus Leatherbarrow. She's dangerous on the balls overhead, and Leatherbarrow does love to go backwards into space.
Well, both of their wingspan, Shamira Sterling and Latanya Wilson, if you look how long their arms are and how tall and high they can reach, especially when they jump just like that, they're a force to be reckoned with. Who knows what direction they're going to go in with those arms.
And really simplistic channel movement there from the Thunderbirds. 3 passes add to a goal and just straight through that middle channel. There wasn't any options coming directly in front of the centre pass, but they were able to find those connections to move through. And Shamira Sterling.
There are those arms. They came flying out. All right, so there's 4 minutes to go in our third quarter, and it is only the Giants up by 3.
And it is a turnover now the way of the Thunderbirds. So Shamira Sterling, she was #1 for intercepts in the league last season. So there's a lot that she can do, especially now that she's come on court. And a ball over the top from Williams to Austin. They're going for the singular shot at goal, the singular goal.
I mean, why not? If you're that close to it and you're only just a couple behind, it's a guaranteed goal pretty much. Just grab it, go for it. It's your centre pass now. Let's do it again, but this is the super shot range. Bit of a bouncy one. Oh, keeping Cardwell out of the space there. Lauren Moore getting the rebound. And back to Gemma Donahue on the line. Amy Slager being tagged just there, and it was those arms by Shamira. Unfortunately, a penalty put against her. But they really covered both of those shooters just there. Tag teaming.
Oh, Shamira Sterling again with those long arms.
That deflection. Beautiful.
Cardwell out of the ring, finds Horges. Will they go for the super shot again? Dwyer out of play. Williams moving the ball with speed to Horges. She knows she's a good feeder. Williams. Both the shooters very high up. Cardwell asking to reset just inside the 2 now. And Cardwell. She was sinking those shots from the opposite side all throughout this quarter. It's not just a super shot specialist. She is a long-range specialist no matter what time it is in the quarter. And just like that, the Thunderbirds are level. For the first time since the first quarter,
I'm just having my own little expressions over here. So close. I'm always going for the underdog. So it depends when the tables are turned. But here we go.
You can see that Sterling and Latanya Wilson, they have a great connection, the two of them. But you can see that she just pushed her up in the air as well. So the added bonus of being pushed up by your player, it's not quite a Harrison Holtz, but it's definitely a strong defensive tactic. And considering how good these defenders are when it comes to timing, I think we're going to see some deflections coming.
Well, they do play for Jamaica, both of them, but Shamira is the more experienced one at age 27, and her deflections last year with the Thunderbirds not making finals was a huge 67 in the 2022 season. So more to come in 2023, I'm sure, and more to come in this game. She's definitely brought her energy to it. It's in the Giants' hands now.
Price out to McDonald. Leatherbarrow out of the circle, forced to reset on the transverse line. Price trying to survey options. The Thunderbirds just a step off the body, really trying to let some space happen, but strong defensive pressure. Dwyer.
The bouncy one. It pops out.
Petty. Sterling. Williams able there to mop up the ball. She tells her team to wait a bit more patience, and Dwyer almost comes streaming through for an intercept. Caldwell goes long and high to Lucy Austin.
And that's it. Sometimes you don't need to run around. just to get your steps up. It's reading the play, picking your moment, and also taking a risk. That's what we as fans love to watch, and what we love to call is seeing players taking a risk and it paying off.
15 seconds left in. Austin trying to keep a hold of the ball. It is even at the moment. Which side is going to have the chocolates at the end of this break? And the umpire just holding time, a final 3 seconds on the board. Moore goes long, directly to Cardwell. And that is the whistle for the end of the third quarter. What a quarter from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They were down by 9 at the break, but now it's even.
It is heating up in here at our Red Energy Arena in Bendigo. Super exciting. I really think it was that, defensive pressure, that one-on-one that Adelaide Thunderbirds really pushed up on their opposing players. And then also, as I said, we wanted to see them take risks. They did. It paid off. And here they are.
We saw a 19-goal quarter for the Giants in the second quarter, but we saw a 19-goal quarter for the Thunderbirds then. A lot of goals, but also, the defensive pressure you just spoke about, Samira Sterling and Latanya Wilson, just reduced them to just 10 goals for the Giants. So lots to happen there. We did see, the Giants really trying to work very strongly, but so much more to go in this game. Really setting us up for a thrilling final quarter. It is, of course, Giants netball 45, Adelaide Thunderbirds 45. We will be back very shortly.
Mark in this game, and she wants to assist in catching up the Thunderbirds on the score, which currently sits 36-28.
Porges wants to go in, finds Austin. McDonald really long stretch over the shot, but the whole time for a second as some of the spectators were walking in the path of Tim Marshall.
Two little girls not knowing that they're in the presence of greatness here.
Are you ready for a career in sport? To make your mark on the industry? To study at the world's #1 school for sports science? Then what are you waiting for?
Meet Colin Jenkins, netball coach, orange cutter, artistic director, planner, chauffeur, Sherpa, and sideline hero.
Pass the ball.
As proud partners of Netball Australia, we want to thank Colin for going above and beyond each week to support the netball community. HCF and Netball Australia, united by uncommon care.
When you're in a I deserve a little treat kind of mood, you need iced coffee, and you need it deluxe. Hazelnut, vanilla, or caramel. Make your day a cream on top kind of day with the McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee.
Sixth car and truck rental is ready. Ready to go above and beyond. We call it Above and Beyonding. Means goodbye to the rocky roads of rentals, hello to an incredible fleet with incredible service. We rent small cars, big cars, electric cars, and cars as big as trucks. Because they are trucks! It's time to mispronounce our name and get out on the open road in style, in 6.
Not too far from where you are, Victoria's wide open spaces are calling. You'll hear the call on forest trails and in sea breezes, at farm gates and in cellar doors, inviting you to hike that peak and chase that view, to drink from the maker and dine at the source. Victoria awaits. Are you ready? Stay close. Go further.
My voice is going to make
And
it.
we're back, and netball is back. Beyond the Court Plus memberships gives you access to one home match in 2023. Just head to melbournevixens.com.au. Well worth it. Awesome to be a member and just be able to access one home match. It's flexible in this really busy world.
Yeah, I've been a member now of the Melbourne Vixens for the past couple of seasons, so it is always a great experience. It's also great to support your team and have, I don't know, I do feel that air of superiority having my own membership, that that I'm really here to support my club.
I would also say the camaraderie. It's nice
absolutely.
have the same sort of positive agenda cheering our netballers on as, other people as well. And we're all collectively in it together supporting our Vixens.
Yeah, both teams have made their way back on the court, and a couple of changes. Chelsea Blackman is in wing defence for the Thunderbirds. Can also see Matilda McDonald is doing some spins and already being a pest just off the left-hand side of your screen. As you see Jamie Lee Price take the court for the final first centre pass of this game. And Erin O'Brien is also in goal defence for the Giants. So a couple of changes there. And we can also see Ash Frketic is in goal shooter for the Giants. So changes across the board. So Frketic into goal shooter. We've also got for Giants and Erin O'Brien to goal defence. And Lauren Moore has gone to the bench and Matilda McDonald's moved to goalkeeper. So a couple of changes there. And Chelsea Blackman in wing defence for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Frketic moving the ball around. Long ball over the top to Price. Finds Dwyer just on the goal line. Tips out and Sterling tries to get a hold of it directly into the path of Wilson. And another change there as well. Apologies. Maisie Nankville has come into wing attack. Georgie Horges on the bench.
And so Maisie is an interesting one. She used to play AFLW for the Adelaide Crows. She had 2 games in 2019 before she got that contract here with the Adelaide Thunderbirds in 2020. And it's all netball from here.
And of course, another obvious change has happened. Tipper Dwan is back into the goal attack role. Eleanor Cardwell on the bench, but my goodness, wasn't that Austin Cardwell a shooting duo? Very, very exciting.
It was, and I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe brought that back. We'll see how this final quarter goes. Neck and neck, the Thunderbirds out in front for the first time, probably in about 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Up by 1.
We did start the start of this quarter even, and Williams just going over the head of Dwan, but Wilson was there to mop up the loose ball. She will take the penalty from the centre third. Dwan out to Nankville.
Oh no, that was Austin calling for it, but a little bit too late on that delayed reaction by Dwan. That's all right, time to claim it back.
O'Brien finds Sliger. Frketic goes across over the top to Jamie Lee Price. Frketic doing a lot of movement. Dwyer back to Price on the goal circle. Wants to try and feed in. Frketic. Wilson's out of play. Will she get her first shot in? And she will. Spoke heavily about my love for Ange Frketic in earlier quarters before she even made her way onto the court. And Sliger thought she was impeded by the defence there. And Thunderbirds have the ball again. Williams to Dwan. And it's remaining very tight in this fourth quarter. Early break to the Thunderbirds, and they just seem to be capitalising on it. Dwan to Nankville. Williams deep in the pocket, really opened the space up for Austin. O'Brien gets a hand to it, but obstruction is the call from umpire Tim Marshall. And just like that, Thunderbirds are out to a 2-goal lead. And like you said just before, Chelsea, first time since right before the super shot period in that first quarter. So fair bit of time between them having a lead and where we are now.
I think this game's going to come down to the wire, Georgia.
I think so too.
And Shamira Sterling looking feisty on court there. Her focus is on the netball. Her and Wilson are going to try and push them out. But Frketic gets the goal there. So she's 24 years old. And so how she got onto the squad, she moved up as a training partner with the Giants following Matisse Leatherbarrow's elevation to the Giants squad. And so that was awesome for her because if there's movement in the top 10 squad, it means there's movement in our training partners and more developed netball players. Some of them in our pathways, some come across, get to move up and have that experience.
And also, we have such a deep depth of netball talent in this country. And you think about, some of the players we saw at ANC, just even the training partners, when they've had the opportunity to step up. You spoke about, the COVID rules and how that affected teams last year. We had the opportunity to see some really good players step up and say that they were able to compete at this level. As Friketic offloads to Dwyer, I think if I saw the arms of Shamira Sterling over me, I would also offload the ball to an easier option.
It was good that Dwyer was also ready. You could just be like, she's going for the goal, but nah, got the pass. But she pops this one in. And they're on the comeback here, 49. And just like that, a couple of centre passes, they're out in front by one with just under 10 minutes to go in our game.
Nankiville goes back
and
to
Lucy.
Vaughan.
Oh, and Lucy Austin doing the work. She's got the hold, that strong body of hers over McDonald. But McDonald, she's a passionate player.
She really wears the game on her face. You can see exactly what she's going through in these games. Price over to Sliger. Sliger to Dwyer. Dwyer with a quick 1-2 to reset her feet to be close to the post. Just hits the top of the ring, but Sterling is there. Long ball from Williams to Wilson. Nankiville, Wilson again, finds Dwan deep in the third. Nankiville goes over the top to Austin, and again, Tilly McDonald, she's so good at using that outside arm, coming off the body and pushing the ball out.
She's a really determined player.
Absolutely.
And I reckon she's got a lot of self-belief with all the hard work she does. She's got a very high work rate.
And she also is not afraid to go for those balls. She really does want to put the pressure on. So even if, she might not get a hand to it, it still affects their confidence going in for the feed. Williams able to keep hold of it, and it's a possession going the way of O'Brien.
Oh, and that was a tussle, and we love a tussle.
Yeah, really strong work there. And then Price to Donahue.
And Amy Slager looking for it. Just manages to get it through the two Thunderbirds players. And Ange coming out off those arms. Deflection by Shamira. Why are we surprised? We should not be.
She's such a good player. I love watching her play.
Well, I reckon it's with both of them, it's going to be tough to get any rebounds. So they're going to want to have shooting accuracy. And there's Dwyer coming out of the circle again like she's done a few times. And that has got to build confidence, right?
100%. And Friketic, she is such an accurate shooter. I think she's smart and she knows when to try and when not to try in terms of especially working with a player of Dwyer's quality as well. So, and it is definitely, this would be a confidence game, and Dwyer, that was not a confident ball at all. So, options aren't always coming forward. I know that some of these combinations have played quite well together at ANC, but it'll be interesting to see if they can open up the space a bit more. They just seem to be really in that middle part of the third, it's deep in the second phase, trying to force a ball that's not 100% just there yet. And Thunderbirds, again, it's just a one goal between the two sides.
Well, it's their centre now. 7 minutes to go in this final quarter. Almost a little bit of a trip just there. But it's Nankivell's ball. Looking for Austin just there. Coming back.
Drawn to Nankiville. Lots of whistle happening in this circle in this quarter as well. So play being halted, but gives the shooters an opportunity to take a breather before they assess their next option.
And even though we did love the Cardwell Austin duo before in the circle for the Thunderbirds, I think Dawn has
Samira Sterling, and a bit feisty as well. Just because these are preseason games and there's technically no points on the line, doesn't mean that this doesn't matter. And Sterling and Price are having words. The umpires are taking it back to make sure Emma Burgess is trying to stamp out any of this now. But wow, that was a fiery point.
There was a bit of bumping and then a bit of a post bump Look, I'm going to say it's both players that were involved in that one. But, yeah, Shamira not too happy. We do want a feisty competition, but we want it, still keep it nice, don't we?
Well, and now we have the Sabco mop making its debut for the day. We are a big fan of the Sabco mop sponsor for the Suncorp Super Netball League. I don't know if it's being sponsored today, but I am a big fan of the mop. Of course, we have the ball and mop squad as well, and that is an offensive contact against Lucy Austin. Just keep an eye on what's happening between Jamie Lee Price and any of the Thunderbird players at the moment. It does seem a lot of spicy things are happening, and I do love a spicy game. Price to Frketić.
Well, they've both got immense energy, and, considering Price has been in centre, I think pretty much the whole entire game, she needs to keep that up. So she still needs to keep her play nice and clean. You can fatigue. I'm sure she's doing a lot of, huge pre-season training and running.
She is a player known for her physical strength and physical stamina. She is a strong player. And Taylor Williams calling the timeout for the Thunderbirds. We're about to hit that final super shot period of this game, and it is a very, very tight affair.
51-52, Thunderbirds out in front by 1. Just about the super shot to be activated right here, and it is going to get exciting.
I cannot wait.
I mean, it was already exciting. But, leveling up is about to occur between the Adelaide Thunderbirds and the Giants. What do you think that they're saying in each huddle, Georgia?
I can see definitely that in the Thunderbirds huddle, it's really split into the channels of the court, who's being spoken to about what things there. Hannah Petty giving some words to Chelsea Blackman, and some very specialist conversations happening with the defenders for the Thunderbirds. Giants as a group, as a unit, so most likely I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting some holistic team advice over there as well. But, 20 seconds to go over the timeout. The Giants are really keen to keep this going. We saw really strong change of pace in that third quarter when the Thunderbirds turned it on, and it looks like no changes have been made, but lots to come in the final 5 or so minutes of this game.
I think that's awesome. I think it's great to keep the training partners on the court and not just pull them out for more experienced players in these crucial moments when it counts. Great high-performance experience happening right here.
And that is the super shot siren. Try and say that 5 times fast. And Lucy Austin, ball in hand, will go for the 1.
All right, pushing them just down in front now by 2 points. Giants are going to want to act on this.
O'Brien through the centre of the court, back to Donahue. Finds Price on the transverse line for Frketić. A little bit of back and forth. Really strong pressure from Sterling. She will be out of play. Will Frketić go for the super shot? No. Over the top to Dwyer, and Wilson will be out of play for unintentional contact, I would say. Just accidentally ran into her.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whether Frketić goes for those super shots. We know that, Dwyer's been on for most of the game and has the confidence and has pulled off a few already, but...
Matilda McDonald, she put a hand to it. She disrupted the path of the pass, and ends up with ball in hand for her team.
Well, it's paid off. They just got to keep it, but the Adelaide Thunderbirds are really pushing up tight on their opponents, the Giants, just here. And there's Dwyer now to Sligar. Coming back out for Frketić. And let's see the shot. Super shot! Getting it done.
Haven't seen Frketić at the super shot level, but I just don't think it's her. I've seen her at the single goal level for ANC, but I just don't think she's the type of player to try and go for the shots the same way that Sophie Dwyer and Matisse Leatherbury is. So I'm interested to see if she'll be playing a lot to allow Dwyer to come and take the shots, but we might. And a turnover there, I think that may have been an offside. I didn't quite see the umpire's hand signal, but based on the positioning of Sterling, turnover for the Thunderbirds.
Oh, and that was a big reach by Sligar, but not to be. Nankerval, a little pop underneath, underarm. Provides another option. Bit of a whip of the ball there. She's in control.
Both shooters really trying to stay in that zone for the two. Austin from mid-range.
Oh, and yeah, a bit of a lift up
We've
by
seen
McDonald.
We've seen both players and both teams on this side go for the lift.
I always think of, Hungry Eyes. I just can't help it, the movie. And the lift in that dance. Love it.
Like flash
Patrick.
dance?
Oh, is it flash dance?
Yeah.
No, it's not flash dance. It's Hungry Eyes. All right, I'm going to Google this one for fact-checking a bit later then.
Tweet us. Use the hashtag Bound for Bendigo and tell us what movie are we thinking about. Final 2 minutes in the game. Thunderbirds are up by 2. Let's get back onto topic, Chelsea. So, Jamie Lee Price. Wilson out of play. Freketic goes out of the circle. Wants to go back to Price. Again, no easy option. Forced to go back and reset at the transverse line to Donahue. Freketic again out of the circle.
Taylor Williams almost had a penalty. I thought she was all up and about it.
Again, Dwyer really
working hard. Wilson cutting her off there and getting the contact, unfortunately. The bounce. Wilson with the rebound stays in court. Beautifully done. The big crossover. Sterling, the little pass under to Chelsea Blackmore.
And then Nankville with the ball now. Tries to go, finds Williams. Williams wants to go directly to Austin. And a nice goal attack drive directly under the post from Dwan. And just now they have that 3-point buffer. It's been a while since we've seen a 3-point buffer in this game. First time in this quarter. And these teams are really going for it. You can see before the ball is passed in a centre pass, they are fighting for it. Austin out of the circle. Wants to reset. Holds the ball for some time. And it is called. She is called for a held ball. So 1 minute to go.
And Dawn was really getting up in there as well. She wanted to cement that victory for the Adelaide Thunderbirds that extended.
And Blackman, Chelsea Blackman gets a hand but still ends up for the Giants. Freketic out of the ring. Price finds Freketic directly in front of the post from the 2-point range. She gets a super shot. It is a 1-goal ball game and it is a Giants centre pass.
Woo! 45 seconds to go. It's down in the Giants
Freketic
circle.
For Dwyer. Dwyer out to Sliger on the side. Dwyer is there. Freketic from the super shot zone. Will she go for it? Sterling gets a deflection. Time ticking down. Freketic again with another penalty. She gets the goal. It is now the Giants in front by 1. There is less than 30 seconds. Here comes Taylor Williams. Blackman to Dwan on the very edge of the line. Dwan holding her time. Nankiville wants to go over to Austin, resets, goes back, 10 seconds to go. Dwan out of the ring. Austin, Dwan, will she go for the winner here? The time is ticking out. Dwan, she scores! And the Thunderbirds have won by 1. It is 59 to the Adelaide Thunderbirds and 58 to the Giants with a super shot right on the buzzer from Tipper Dwan. What a absolute stellar finish to this game. Chelsea, what have you made of that final minute?
It was incredible. Firstly, I want to apologise if the audio just blasted everyone's ears. We got way too excited just then with that final goal getting in right before the buzzer. Tipper Dwan finishing it off, and what a finish she had, just maybe a bit more quiet there in that corner, but made it what happened when it counted.
And we spoke about what we've seen so far in this game. Adelaide started the first quarter so strongly, but then the Giants turned it on with the super shots, and the Giants led all the way up. And from that 5 minute point, the 5 minutes ago, 10-minute point of the first quarter, all the way until that 3-quarter time break when it was even. And now, what a stellar finish. And, if this is what we're going to expect from games this season, what a wonderful season we're going to have in Suncorp Super Netball. And, if this is the start of what we're going to experience in Bound for Bendigo this weekend, aren't you excited for what's to come? We've got the Sunshine Coast Lightning versus the Vixens Nest. What can we expect from that game? But overall, fantastic end to the match. The Thunderbirds come out the 1-goal winners, 59 to the Giants 58. Any final thoughts before we finish up this game?
Just the energy is super high in here. The crowd jumped out of their seats in that final goal. I just want to point out Freketic's goal, her super shot as well, right before that final goal that Tipper Dwan had, because that could have been her moment if the clock hadn't have ticked away right before Tipper Dwan had have gotten that one right on the buzzer. So fantastic effort by both teams. Super excited that a few of our training partners were plugged in that second half as well. Awesome experience in this high performance space, and can't wait to see more games That's it from me. Coming up next is Vixens and Lightning at 5:05 p.m. Make sure you stick around. We'll see you shortly.